Okay, so welcome to our week 2. Okay, sessions 2, image manipulations there. All right, so I'm going to start back again over here. Oh, actually, I'm going to crop the files there again. The best way, basically, right, to crop roughly, basically, okay, roughly, I'm going to use lasso tools. At the same time, the feather are going to be 0%, right? Pixel per percent, okay? So what I can do right now, I'm going to crop them up. Because I want to have the very sharp kind of shapes over here, right? Click and move there, right? Click and move there. Okay, using pen tools is more easy there, okay? If I make some of the mistake, for example, like this one, when I actually, what we call that, selected those areas there, okay? How actually I'm going to continue them? I'm going to click shift there, click shift, and I'm going to continue to draw the shapes there, right? Okay, click shift there, right? To extend basically the selections areas, okay? Click shift to extend the selection areas there. Then I'm going to copy them, Control C, or I can actually click and drop there, okay? And drop over here, right? So you can drop there, right? Cannot there. Okay. Last time we can, right? Okay. So whatever we can do from here, okay, I can actually crop this one, okay? Because just now I'm using these selection tools there. If I want to change it to move tools, I don't have to go to our toolbar there, okay? My kind of what we call that hands are going to click to those control left hander again, then click to the pictures over here, and then paste to the next files there, right? Also, different kind of way for you guys to work there, right? Okay, it can be. So there's a lot of tricks. There's a lot of way, a shortcut way for you guys to work. Okay. If Mr. Byrne basically have taught you guys some of the techniques, and I slightly show some of the different way, it doesn't mean you cannot avoid it. Okay? You can actually mix them around there. Okay, don't say that. Okay, oh, I thought I saw Mr. Byrne actually do this thing like that. You know, why actually Mr. Father do this kind of thing? And I saw some of the videos from YouTube channels. They basically taught the different way. Okay. No matter what kind of way that you guys have been learned, try to apply them first, and then later on, try to find the best way for you to develop there. Okay, don't just jeopardize and say that, okay, oh, I thought this is more better than this one. Okay, everyone have different kind of way to approach the right. What I did basically for my works is based on my practicalities there, how actually I've done my kind of works there. Okay, and you can find basically I can execute some of the works quite faster. Okay, according to the main objective, what I want for my work there. So when I have this kind of sketch over here, this kind of what we call the ideas from here, okay, I can actually try to scale them, okay, down, okay, transform them, right? How to transform them? Control T for shortcut here, okay. Always remember, okay, some students, they only use one single hand to do those works there, okay. And I actually cannot barely see, and I really hate basically, okay, personally, okay, when students use those kind of like those touch kind of what we call the touchpad, right, okay, on their laptops to work with your design, what we call that process there, okay. I cannot actually digest and basically what we call that accepted that kind of way of ethic of working there, right? Because it doesn't look professional, guys. Okay, it doesn't look like a very good kind of ethics to work there. You need to have a proper kind of tools there, device for you guys to execute your work. At least you have a mouse there first to work on that. Not touchpad there, guys. Okay, don't be lazy there. Okay, don't use touchpad. Okay, even though that's a part of the skills, contingency kind of plan for you guys to work, but don't make it as a part of your routine. Okay, build up the right kind of ethics that you work there. All right, tablet or mouse. If you have tablet, it's more better, okay, for you guys to start to develop your professional way to work your kind of design process. Now, I have this kind of photos as a part of my ideas that works. I'm showing you guys right now how to develop your sketches from your imaginations, but I'm using reference that to apply that. If I actually sketch the whole thing without any reference, you might going to see, okay, how actually I create all these ideas from, right? The ideas came from my mind spontaneously, and then I plan back again from my plannings over here, from my data collection or visual collections over here, right? Okay? So from here, okay, I will gather more informations about how actually I'm going to arrange my ideas back again, right? Okay? And of course, to develop those layout, I will show you guys also some of the thumbnail sketch, how to work on that. The thumbnail sketch there, okay? So now basically we are going to work with this one of the photos over here, okay? Cropping kind of what we call that way, what we call that methods. Anyone have any problems from here? How to crop them? Anyone have any issues?
No.
No, they're right. So how to create some details so you know how actually how it works, right? Either you can use those lasso or polygonal lasso to work on that. But for me directly, I always use these lasso tools to work with it, okay? To crop some of the details there, right? So crop, done there, right? Okay. You guys don't have any problem there, right? Is it? Okay, sometimes, okay, spacebar basically to move around when you close up basically your areas of working there. Okay, yeah, combine them first, right? Okay, and then you can combine them back later on, right? Okay. We can close this one. Now, what are the elements that we can use from here directly? Of course, we could go back into those kind of what we call that a reference that we actually have collected before there, right? Okay, now image manipulations. Okay, I try to collect more information over here. So let's just say, because we're going to create a digital collage, okay, but we don't want to make those digital collages look a bit more like a very proper kind of arrangement first, right? I want to make it a bit more like a decorative kind of arrangements there. So let's just say, okay, this cat, okay, max there, okay. So how to change the basically, okay, max color, okay, max kind of what we call my cat, basically, right? The colors of his eye is a blue, right? Okay, bluish, right? What I can do later on, I'm going to change the color into blue, okay. But before that, I'm going to crop this guy there first. Okay, there. Copy, close, and paste. And of course, right, okay, when you have all this information and these files there, don't forget to save this. Always there, okay? Don't just get caught in your moments, you forgot to save your files there. Even though there is some recovery mode nowadays, but don't rely too much on that. Okay, so week 2 demo for layout and compositions there, right? Okay. So this is some of the things that I have in mind, but I'm using tools there to work on that. Some people can sketch the whole thing directly. So I'm referring basically those reference. Okay, what else there? I can actually put into my kind of methods of working there, right? Let's just say, okay, this one, okay. This one is quite easy, right? Because we have basically the white background. If we have the white backgrounds, one of the best way for you to use is Magic Wand there, right? Okay, Magic Wand. You guys doing Magic Wand before there, right? So quick selection tool also can be used there, right? Okay, to work on that. Click Shift, and then you can click to these areas there. You can also use Magic Wand to work on that one, right? And then what you can do from here, but Magic Wand is not basically quite very accurate sometimes. There is some sort of like a feather kind of line, okay, on the edge, kind of what we call that borders of the shapes, right? Okay, what we can do right here, right now, okay, we actually have decided outside, okay, we have to inverse the selections there. So what I can do, I'm going to inverse the selections into the shapes of this, what we call that rollerblade there, okay. these shoes there, okay? In landscape kind of shoes there. So what I can do, copy the racket and post right here, right? Those are some of the images there, okay? That I can actually combine them all together there, okay? And they become 3 different layers over here. Automatically, we'll go to 3 different layers there, right? Some people love to use folders, but I didn't use folders there. But I'm going to rename the record, double click, rename the record. My files there, my layers there, okay? Like this one. And don't forget to Control S to save the record, okay? Control S to save your as layer right here, basically, okay? In order to prevent from your computer sometimes going to be crash, okay? Please save as to save basically your as later on there, right? Okay, remember that, right? Okay, so to work on that, okay, please always remind yourself, okay, don't get caught, okay, with those moments sometimes when people actually start to develop the kind of very kind of what we call that their own kind of zone to develop those kind of works. They start to forget about to save themselves, okay, save the files, okay, all the frequently, okay, whatever major changes that you've been working on, always your hands right here, save the files directly using your shortcut key there, right? So other than that, what I can combine, okay, maybe some of the pictures over here, and I use them, okay. How about those zerk there, right? This one there, right? Okay, the zerk there, right? So what I can do from here, can actually crop this one there first. If I want to use the quick selection tools, okay, it's not quite proper directly sometimes, okay. For quick selection tools, okay. So I kind of avoid using quick selection tools all the time, okay, but we can actually use them if we want to. Okay. Okay. But sometimes it's not quite accurate there, right? See? What I can do there, right, okay, other than use this one or magic one there, right? I use crop that first. Okay. Because I want to gather all this kind of what we call that arrangements from my what we call it selections here. Okay, what else that we can do from here? Click Shift and do some selections outside there, right? Oh, sorry, there, okay. Alternate there, right? Okay, alternate there. Sorry, there, right? To create those negatives kind of space there. And this one there, right? First. Roughly there, right? Okay, I'm teaching you guys basically right now how to work directly from your ideas there using the tools. Right? We go through the main kind of purpose why we done all this kind of job there, right? Okay. Alternate key to invert basically the selections there, right? Okay. Cut some of the areas, okay, from the selections over here. But you have to combine the shapes, right? Okay, to select that. Copy them and paste right here. It's quite big there, the pictures there, right? So we have a few number kind of collections that we have. And of course, from here there, okay, you must have some reference back again to follow through with your ideas there, right? So what I did basically told you guys before there, okay, take a look at those reference of those digital collage there, illustrations. That's a part of your reference there. Some people say, okay, sir, I don't have any idea. Let's say, I don't have any ideas there. How actually going to work on that, okay? Come on, guys. This is basically how you develop your ideas, huh? All right. Save all these kind of files there first. All right. Right here. save all these files there. This one, they combine some illustrations, shapes, and also collage at the same time there, right? Okay. This one, they combine also with typographies there, okay. It's part of it. So very, very nice, kind of, we call that illustrations, concept styles there, okay. Basically, my brothers, okay, my brothers basically use this kind of methods also, this kind of style illustration for his work there. I wonder basically where I put more of those reference there, either in information subjects or maybe in other subjects there, right? So this is also part of the inspirations there, guys, okay? Try to get all this kind of reference as a part of your way of working then later on there, right? For those who love the feminine side of those images, this is one of the good examples there for you guys to use. So when people say, I don't have any ideas, or from digital illustrations there, right? I cannot actually compromise there, right? Because you can get a lot of ideas from those Googles, right? There. Okay. All this kind of reference, this kind of samples can be used there, guys, okay, to work with that. All right, let's just say that I want to find more reference for my collage directly. I want to create some, maybe some brain or robotic kind of images, okay, on my brain directly. So what I can do, what inside my brain there basically there, right? So I will find some of the reference there, brain. Images there, right? Find some reference there. It's quite nice over here that I can use as a part of my reference there. Make sure the file's name, the file's quite big there, right? Okay, for you guys to work on it. The size of the files there. And this one also quite nice there, right? Okay, what else that we can use from here? Okay. How about the mechanicals? You have to understand. You have to mechanical brain there. Is there any fine kind of mechanical kind of brain they can use there, right? This one has those. Even though we can actually use some of those techniques, okay, to cover all this kind of but I'm not going to use them. Take a look at back again. Okay, find the proper kind of images that we can use there back. So quite nice there. So all these kind of ideas that I have in mind right now, I try to work together with my kind of ideas there. Okay, this is how actually we develop the kind of activities at the same time there, guys. Okay. Save the files there. All the things that I find quite very intrigued, okay, in my mind there, okay. I try to collect all these information back in. That's why when we seek for informations visually there, okay, to develop for our ideas, okay, based on those understanding, okay, from those illustrations that we want to create there, right? We kind of like to exploring a bit more further on our understanding there. All right. What else there? Okay? Some of the great kind of elements over here there we can see. Right. Quite interesting there, okay? But you have to do a lot of crop there, okay, later on. But this is basically my interest there, guys, okay? I love to combine some of the unique, surreal technologies, cyberpunk there, okay? What we call the fantasy kind of element on my works there, okay? All this kind of thing by practice there. Practice by exploring your imaginations by watching a lot of movies, comics, there, anime, manga, there, okay? Play games there, okay? All those kind of stuff there, okay? That you guys love to do there, okay? In your early stage, you guys can work on that. See, all these kind of things will be developed as a part of those what we call the process of developing your creativity. When people say, okay, so I'm not creative lah, come on lah guys, okay. You can practice your kind of creativities by all this kind of process of working. Okay, I show you guys basically step by step right now, okay, how actually I done my works, is how actually you can practice back again to develop your creativities there, okay. And of course, you have to listen also with a very good kind of music there at the same time to engage basically your mood, right? No cyber element there. Because I have this kind of ideas there, okay? That's why I'm going to try to play with it. But find a proper kind of photos, not too small, okay, for you guys to guide you guys to also get. And of course, whatever that we're going to do, the angles, the shots has to be the same there, okay, to make it more proper kind of looks there. Now there's a lot of reference there, guys, so you guys can actually properly can use to work on that. This one look nice there, can be applied there, right?
But sir, we only can use 30% of photo, right?
30% of photos, and
Yeah,
other than that,
yeah, because 30% from the internet sources only.
it can be there, right? It can be, right? But you have to use also your own photos, right, to work on that, right?
Yeah,
But in terms of develop your kind of data collections there, try to seek more information like this one. Okay, guys. That's why this is the process of developing your data collection there. Even though all these kind of informations, all these kind of visual informations, I try to gather a lot, okay? It doesn't mean I'm going to use all of them. But in order to develop those process of creative process, whatever that you have in mind, try to collect that first, then you choose. Don't select less directly, because otherwise you're going to have a limited kind of what we call the resources there. Then you will decide that whether you're going to use all these kind of informations, all these kind of visuals, okay, together with your works, or you are not going to be work on that. Because whatever they actually have chose this now before this, right, okay, from my mood board, I'm not going to use the whole thing there, but I'm going to gather my kind of resource of ideas there first, based on the theme that I want, okay, to develop basically back again my ideas later on. That's why the critical process that most of you guys, most people basically avoid by developing their understanding on their own research. They don't spend too much time there, okay? Even though in the professional practice, in most of the industry, in our industry, okay, have done all these kind of mistakes. People doesn't have, especially the business people there, okay, who actually think all about their profit only, but they don't think about the creative process that can be a part of those engagements, okay, to boost up their kind of product and brand later on, okay. People normally don't spend too much time or invest too much money and budget on their research there. If you take a look back again there, guys, okay, Pixar animation, all this kind of game design there, right, okay, that you play right now. Do you know how much time they spend, how much money and budget they spend for their research? Okay, name one of the games that you play right now.
few million.
Name of the game that you play right now.
League of Legends.
Okay, League of Legends, okay. You know how much they spend for their research?
Don't know.
You know that, right? Okay. Let's just say roughly. Let's just say in the Malaysia kind of dollar, not like USD, okay, because they spend more than that, right? Let's just say you have 1 million for your budget, okay? 1 million for your budget. Some people say 1 million is quite what we call a huge budget for develop one game there, okay? Okay, you have to know basically one thing, okay? Angry Bird, for example, there, okay? League of Legends basically is very high-end 3D kind of games there, okay? You talk about Angry Bird there, okay? Do you know how much they spend for one single projects or theme for those Angry Bird there, right? How much they spend for one game there, right? Okay? The first basically version of those games there, right? They spend around not not basically in Malaysian ringgit, but in USD kind of what we call it levels there. Okay? It's going, they spend around 150 to 100 kind of USD there, okay, for one titles there, okay, for one titles there. That basically how much they spend, okay. USD, the guys, okay, not Malaysian ringgit, okay. USD times three, how many, okay, is almost half the millions there. Almost half the million on RM there, okay, on one single game. If you think basically, okay, they spend on that 2D mechanical kind of games for Angry Bird around 250K there, okay, how much they spend basically for League of Legends there, right? Millions there, okay, to develop those kind of projects there, okay, and they spend how much time, like how many years to work on that? Almost 2 and 3 years there. Sometimes there's 5 years there, sometimes, okay, depending, okay. Same goes to animations there, right? That's why basically people don't actually spend too much time, okay, normally basically, okay, in practice on research there, right? They keep jeopardizing basically the process of doing some research. They jump into the productions more. That's why some of the projects that we saw is basically is burst out, right? It doesn't actually have that kind of what we call that have that kind of quality of those attentions on those audience that they cannot sell very well there because of that there, guys. Disney, Pixar, they're okay, DreamWorks, okay, they spend a millions, okay, on the projects, okay, especially on R&D, okay. If the projects basically are going to be worked in 5 years, to complete in 5 years, they spend 2 years basically, at least 2 years basically to develop their research there. Those are the things there, guys. So research is really important there. It's not like research on how to create those kind of vaccine for the virus only there, right? Okay, but for entertainment, for our entertainment kind of industry, okay, research also really important there. Okay, some of the local kind of productions that I know, basically they spend around 1 year, half a year basically, or 1 year basically to do some research, okay, before they're going to launch their projects there, right? You take a look about like Bobo Boy, Upi Painter, okay, they also spend a lot of R&D on those kind of things, but they also come up with a lot of shorties at the same time on the project there, okay. So ongoing kind of project also have to be run over there, right? So same goes to what we do right now, okay. We have to find also some resources from there. And of course, okay, I didn't plan much basically on my kind of samples there, okay, because I want to show you guys spontaneously how to develop those ideas there right now. Okay, if you want to spend 30% of your what we call that reference from this internet, and another what we call that 70% or 60%, okay, more into your what we call that reference from your resources or your own resources, go ahead there, guys. But I want to show you guys how actually develop the ideas from here. Develop from the ideas from here, right? So right now, okay, I have a few number kind of reference that I actually can use to work on that, okay. But I want you guys to sketch it out, those ideas there. So I will find some of the reference right here, okay. They can guide me to develop more better on my works later on. Okay. So what else that we can actually create from here? Okay. So if you guys felt that, okay, it's enough for you guys to work from there, then what you can do to compose the whole things there. So what else, what we can get from here, right, okay, just now. So this is some of the photos that we have. Okay, invert them, copy and paste. See? So what I can do from here, if I want to scale, don't scale like this one there, right? Please don't scale like this one there, right? Click Shift and scale. Click Shift and scale there, okay? Properly. See? And then what you can do from here, before you transform them, you can actually write flip horizontals there. See? And then you can rotate and scale back maybe more further there, okay? Maybe this is the size of my brain there, okay? It may be there, okay? This is the size of my brain there, okay? Generally there, okay? So work there. You can find more kind of what we call that reference that you work from there. Let's just say I want to make this kind of positions a bit more proper on the perspective there, right? So what I can do, transform. I'm going to make a perspective shapes. There. See? Change back, right? In the proper kind of positions there, right? See, then I'm going to adjust back again to make it right. Okay. One thing there, right? Okay, to work so that. So now I have that kind of a few number kind of composition that I have here there, right? So what I can do right now, okay, based on reference, okay, based on my what we call the ideas that I have right here. What else I can actually play around here with it? Okay, some meals there that can be used to later on there, okay? All this kind of stuff there, okay, to work with it. So it's time for me to develop those kind of ideas there. So without basically using only basically the tools that we have right here to arrange those kind of elements, okay? One of the things that I want you guys to do first, right, okay, to sketch the thumbnails, okay? All this kind of information that I have right now, okay, I want you guys to sketch the thumbnails there first, how to work with it. Okay, first of all, okay, if you don't have that kind of, okay, who actually have that kind of low kind of skills to draw? Anyone have a low skill to draw there, right? Anyone who have problem to use drawings that to work on that? Guys, anyone have problems to draw? Well, I need to see your drawing skills over here. All right, I want to show you guys, okay, if you seems have the problems to draw, okay, sketch basically in a proper way, okay, I want to show you guys how basically we can draw that, okay. So let me say that I'm going to put it right here as a reference, okay. Let me say that right. This one. All right, separate them first. Okay, I have a few number kind of informations that I can use. Or maybe I can basically write, draw or develop another mood board there, right? Okay. First. I want to create another mood board, right? Okay, because I have a new ideas that you work on it. Okay, this one, scale that first, right? A reference. What else that we have here? Okay. So to gather all this kind of information there, guys, okay, it takes time there. That's why, okay, when you start to do those works, okay, we want to gather all this, what we call that designer, okay. I want you guys to practice this kind of methods at the same time. Try to not to get confused, huh? Okay. So we say, oh, last time I told you to work like that, okay, because there's a lot of process of working that you guys can implement, guys, okay. But I want to gather all these information there first before we are going to decide to work with it. Brain, images over here. Okay, scale there, right? What else that I can use there? Now, helmet there, right? Select them. And select all there, right? Copy. It's nice that this helmet that paste over here. Okay, I'm not going to use crop the whole thing there, okay, first. Because I want to see your sketches, how actually you've done your sketches there, okay. Okay. What else that we can combine from here directly? Can I create another one there, right? Maybe this one there. You select all, copy, and paste there. It doesn't mean I'm going to use them the whole elements from there. So how actually I'm going to gather all these informations back again? This is basically a move. How actually I'm going to gather all these information there for my sketches. All right. So this is the thing that we are going to do there, guys. We add new layers. Okay. Sketch number 1. I want to test you guys. If you don't have those tablets, it's okay. Anyone doesn't have any tablets there? Anyone doesn't have any tablets? Drawing pen? Anyone? How many? All right. Okay, if you don't have any tablets, I want you guys to sketch using basically your sketchbooks directly. Drawing is your sketchbook directly. Can you guys do it then? Okay, I want you guys to plan whatever that you have in mind based on your reference to sketch out your ideas there, okay? To make a very compositions there, arrangements there. But I want to show you guys in digital because it's one of the practical way nowadays to work with it. So if I'm using Photoshop to draw back again my ideas, I'm going to use brush tools. Okay, brush tools. I want to show you guys, okay, the brush tools there. And from this brush tool, I'm going to use the Skull Ultimate Pencil. For multimedia subject there, right? Do you have any subject called Introduction to Illustrations? Nice.
For this sem, no.
No, huh?
This sem do have.
Oh, don't have, all right. Okay. So normally, okay, for multimedia subject for diploma there, okay, we have image manipulations and introduction to illustrations there. But normally, introduction to illustration, we are going to work with traditional kind of way there. But because of the pandemic for these 2 years, I have to convert basically those traditional methods, balance out with digital methods there. Okay, you guys can see from my YouTube channels there how it works there. Okay, so if I have all these ideas there, guys, what are the things I can do from here? You can zoom in first. I will draw a small sketches there. Let's say I want to draw small sketches like this one there, okay? First of all, let's say this is your pencils. This is how you sketch your thumbnails there, okay? Try to draw a few number kind of boxes first. Okay? Few number kind of boxes like this one there, okay? But using freehand, okay? Using freehand. And then if you can draw a few number kind of boxes like this, I want you guys to add at least 4 different sketches there, okay, in one pages there, right, okay? From here, okay, I'm going to combine them first. And start to sketch your idea, how to arrange, okay, layout compositions there, okay? How we're going to arrange them, okay? First of all, when you sketch our ideas there, okay, where we start, okay? Let's just say I'm going to start to draw basically my, what we call that. Sorry there, guys, okay, something in my eyes there. Okay. I want to draw my faces there first, okay? how I'm going to start to draw. Okay, the right way to draw my kind of reference, first of all, this is the way that guys to draw. See? Even though you're not, are you again going to learn to draw this one, or okay? The structures there, this misters. You guys? Are these the way that you draw before? Okay, normally for your drawings?
You mean using tablet?
Yeah, using tablet or pencils.
No, we just use pencils only.
Right, when you're using pencil, that you draw like this one to start with your ideas there. Basic structures.
Yeah, something like that, sketching.
Sketching there, okay? When you sketch there, okay, please draw basically like this one, okay? Basic structures there first, okay? I will show you guys what basically some of the people will draw wrongly there, okay? Okay? This is how actually you draw there, okay? Your kind of rough sketches there. We call it thumbnail sketch there, right? Very rough kind of sketch, okay? See? When you actually go for any kind of what we call that interview or okay, sessions, okay? People want to see how you draw like this one there, okay? And then what we can actually apply from there, okay? Let's just say that I want to draw those helmets there, okay? Helmets right there. Maybe. Right here, helmets there, right? It's a very rough kind of what we call that sketch there. Then, I don't know, the brain, maybe inside here there, right? Yes. And then what else? Okay, these roller skates there. Okay, draw those roller skates there, right? Okay, this is how actually we sketch basically those ideas there. So when you sketch also using basically your sketchbooks, I want you guys to practice this kind of methods there, right? Using the basic structure, no detailing there, please, right? No detailing there, right? Whatever we can put over here. Maybe I want to put those cats directly right here. There. Okay, roughly that first there, right? What else there? The burgers there, right? Okay. And then what are the elements that we can put probably here? Other than that, this basically the zerk there, okay? Maybe the zerk basically is a part of those, what we call that, characters that we can create from here later on again. Only part of those inspirations there, right? So I can actually put those zerks over here. Right? There. Okay, this one basically we call gestures drawing. Okay? Gestures drawing is there, okay? So roughly, I have those kind of planning, okay? Why we have to plan the whole thing like this one there, okay? Why? Because this is one of the proper way for designers to start to sketch their ideas, not just directly using the Photoshop or using the collage again and rearrange them and spend too much time that okay to work on that. Okay, so this is one of those proper way for you guys to develop your works. Okay, that we call them thumb. Okay, nails. Sketch story. Sketch story. Okay. Have you heard about this thumbnail sketch there, right? Before? No?
No.
No, right? Okay, this is what we call thumbnail sketch there. So what if I want to cut this head there, okay, right here? So this is kind of what we call that, roughly kind of what we call that image of myself. So I'm going to put the brains over here. Okay, rough sketch, right? Okay. So my glasses there. This is what we call the gesture drawings there, right? Sorry there, right? My handwriting is there. Gestures drawing there. You guys can actually write. focus. Okay, what is sketches drawing is all about? It's all about how to develop those kind of ideas. Therefore, it's not a detailing that you want there. Okay, and then maybe this guy are going to be right here. There, okay, inside my brain there. And maybe the cat also going to be pop up over here there. Okay, what else there? Maybe this part, basically the neck, become the shoes there, right? It can be. Okay, it's not a normal kind of, we call the composition there. It's called digital collage. That is what we call digital collage now. So the shoes over here, this is my face. I cut the brain over here, okay? So the cat are going to be inside there, okay? This is what we call, we plan our ideas and when we design, okay? This is design number 1, this is sketch number 1, and sketch number 2, right? What else that we can do from here? Maybe I'm not going to use the whole proper of head. Maybe we're going to use the helmet directly. The helmet itself directly. Sorry. So what I can do, I draw the helmet back again, but I'm going to rotate the helmet into this position over here. Right? Okay, this helmet's over there, roughly directly. And then what I can do from here, right? What am I going to put over here, okay? Maybe I'm going to put basically those. This is what we call developing those ideas there, guys, okay? It's quite critical a bit, okay, to develop this kind of understanding there, right? And of course, you have to plan with your drawings. That's basically the different routine, okay? But this is the proper routine that you have to experience, right? Other than you just using Photoshop to work with your tools at the same time, planning inside your sketchbooks also a part of it to develop your kind of creativities there. So what else that we can get from here? Maybe sometimes you will feel stuck because all these kind of shapes of informations that you have visually there, okay, cannot actually get a proper kind of feel for your works there. Okay, what I can do basically, right, I can actually cut over maybe this part, and I'm going to draw basically my face back again over here, right? And I'm going to cut also this part, put back again my brain, right? And the cats are going to be right here, and the zerg are going to be right here, there, right? Oh, this is a Protoss there, okay? I forgot about the names there, Protoss there, right? And then what else there, okay? I think those, what we call that? Those kind of shoes, okay? Skates are going to be right here, okay? Remain there, okay? What else that we can actually put, okay? I can actually put a lot of things, okay? Like a mechanical kind of hands, make it a bit more like a robot that may be there, okay? It can be there, okay? So all these kind of ideas that I have in mind, I can actually gather even though I don't have those kind of photos at the same time that I get to work on that. Okay. What else that we can work on that here? Okay, maybe I'm going to remain the master, right? So all this kind of visually informations there, okay? It's a part of the process that you guys, okay? I'm going to use only the what we call that, the glasses and the mask, and I'm going to put the cat right here. Okay, the cat right here, there, okay? All right, quite very, what we call that. And the cats, I can cut the brain of the head of the cat, right? Okay? I put the brain over here, and they're going to become floating a little bit, okay, on the head. So all this kind of rough kind of plannings will give you more kind of understanding how actually you're going to plan visually later on there. Don't just thinking inside your head there, okay? I think I want to design like this. No, there, guys. Do some of the rough sketches. It doesn't have to be the sketches going to be completely going to be fine there. I can show you guys also after this how to refine your sketches there. But right now, I want to put it into a bit more proper. I want to plan a bit more roughly there first. And what else I can actually create from here? Maybe I can actually write from this this mask. I'm going to use only the wheel. Okay, wheel basically. Okay, for the leg there, right? It can be there, guys. Okay, and then what else there? Where are going to put those brain there, right? If I want to, the brain will say over here there, okay? This is going to be the brain, the head of the cat there, okay? This is a cat. This is the glasses, okay? These are going to be the mask. This is going to be the wheel, all right? So all this element that I actually create right now is a part of the creative process to develop your ideas there. Do you guys understand? Can you see
Yeah.
basically the planning there, guys? If you guys understand, say yes. If you seems like doesn't understand, okay, please say no there, right? On the chat box. All right. Guys, put Y basically yes. Yes looks okay. All right, are you sure there, right? Because everyone has to do this kind of practice there. How about the rest of you guys there? Right? Not more than, right? Okay, you guys can use sketchbooks, okay, to develop your kind of ideas like that. 4 different sketches there, 4 different sketches that you works on that, on the process of working. All right. After you have all this kind of planning over here, roughly, I will show you guys if you're using Photoshop, how actually you can actually gather all these informations back again. Okay, let me save into JPEG files there first. This is your sketch. Okay. Thumbnail sketches there, right? In JPEG files. Okay, I'm going to close the layers there first. Okay. So this is basically the sketches that we have done before there, right? So what we can do from here, I'm going to follow based on my sketches there, right? So I have these photos over here, all right? So what I can do right here, okay, I can duplicate the files there first. How to duplicate the files? Simple there, guys. Okay, click to the layers over here, put into those separate files. Okay, you can actually see from these folders over here, okay, the layer folders there, okay? At the bottoms, beside the trash kind of what we call that icon there, right? Okay, delete layers over here there, okay? You can create new layers there, okay, by click and drop to the click layers of those features there, right? And from here, even though I didn't actually properly cut the whole things and select the whole thing properly there, okay, what I can do, I can cut this part there, right? This, for example, like this one. Okay, cut and paste. Okay, then I will put the brain inside there, okay, in different layers there. You see that, right? The cat itself, okay, can be inside or can be outside there, okay. So what else I can do from here? All right, the brain, basically, I'm going to duplicate that first. Select how to select all these 3 layers there, okay, except the cat there, right? Of this I button there first, right? Because I want to select, okay, click shift and select all these 3 layers and make sure they've been arranged with the proper kind of size there first, right? This is basically based on my rough sketches that I have. I plan back again. Okay, the skate, what I can do from here, the skate layers there, right? I want to add this skate into inside of those neck there, right? Okay, inside of those masks there, okay. What I can do from here, right? Okay, cut this part there first there. Okay, do some selections. Like this, all right? Delete the files there. Okay, and do more selections over here. Crop there. Okay, I use a lot of crop there. Okay, there. So from Mr. Burn, basically you learn about generally about the basic how actually going to work with your tools there. Right? So I'm going to use direct kind of way to approach our process of working based on our assignments. But you can mix up also your way of working later. Okay, so I crop roughly that first, guys. So this is basically the scape. have to send into the bottoms, layers, and scale. Scale that, right? For example, like this one. Okay. This is not basically a common kind of compositions there. This is a bit more like a collage compositions there, right? Save the files there first. Okay, what else that we can actually add from here based on our sketches there, right? The cat itself, okay. I don't think basically it's proper way. Basically, I'm going to put the cats right here. So what I can do, okay, this cat basically there, right? I'm going to put inside of our head, of my head there. So this one close there, okay? Inside of my head and scale. And this one, okay? It's just going to have the meaning there, okay? If you want to select these areas, all right, right click, select the layers there, and I can actually put this kind of head floating a bit right here. Okay, what else that we can do from here? This zerk that can kind of guide there, okay? Duplicate the layers, put into the bottom, into the bottom right of the layers, scale, right? Scale them, right? Okay. I can actually separate them later on, okay? So what else I can do from here? I'm going to put these zerk characters. All right, what we call it, arrange those, okay, positions. And of course, okay, this cat basically or this zerk are going to be a bit more scaling down, because otherwise we cannot, what we call that, arrange hymns and show basically the brain there, okay? Otherwise, there's no point basically we show the brain there, right? Okay. So what inside our mind, okay, my mind there basically there, okay? Basically, all right? So what else that we can do over here there, okay? To arrange them based on my sketches there. This is basically how actually we conduct our sketches together with our actual kind of works. So what else we can do from here? Those burgers there, right? Okay, even though I done a few number kind of sketches there, okay? So if I have a spontaneous kind of ideas that play in my mind, okay, I can actually improvise them. Okay, I can improvise them back, right? That's basically one other thing we can actually do also at the same time, okay? So next thing later on, I can change some of the reflections over here there. Let me call it back again, the burgers there, okay? This burger there, okay? Maybe this one. Okay, find different kind of shapes of burgers or what we call that reference if you have. But this one doesn't look fine for those reference there, for those pictures there, right? So what I can do, maybe I can change from this brain into the burger kind of brain now. This one is, guys, okay? All this kind of creativity that I have in mind can be add a part of those. Whatever that you have think spontaneously, don't be afraid to change there, all right? Because that's basically can be a part of the good process for you guys to practice your way of working, your creative process there. So if I can find more proper kind of photos of this burger there, okay? This one is a PNG files, quite suitable for us to use. Okay, the burger brain there, right? This one also can be a part of suitable way to produce the, to use the, right? So I have enough there, right? Yeah. So what I can do, save this one there, right? And select this one only. Cannot. Oh, this is a PNG files there, okay? PNG files, they basically, okay? They have given us basically some privilege to use them. Yeah. Burger brain there. See? Have fun with it, guys. Okay, always have fun. Okay, rotate accordingly to those positions. Then the cats, put it right here, back again. Okay, so this is basically some rough kind of what we call that compositions of my works there, right? Okay, so what else that we can actually put over here there, guys? Okay, clouds, maybe some sort of round areas there, right? You guys can choose the works there. So what I can do from here, okay, roughly based on my sketches, all right, let's just say I'm going to find some clouds there, right? Images there, I get some clouds and effect there, right? So what I can do from here, you can shoot your own clouds if you want to there, right? Okay. So find the proper kind of element of those clouds that can be used there. And roughly, I have this one, save as one of the files. And I can open up this one back again, select all, copy, and don't forget to paste on the background there, right? And scale. Don't scale those clouds like this one, huh? Please don't do this kind of methods there, right? Just to make it the whole things are going to be in the proper kind of what we call that size there, right? Okay, don't work on that like this one there. Please, guys, just scale them, but make sure you have the huge kind of files already, and click OK. Simple as that there, right? See? And what else you can do from here? Okay, these images that I have, okay, this kind of images I have, right? I can actually change basically the colors there, right? Okay. So we close this one there first. So for any questions there, am I actually work too fast for you guys? So what I can do from here, is it right?
Yeah, no question.
So what I can do from here, I can actually change the colors there, okay, if I want to, and I can actually adjust the level to make it the images a bit more sharpened there, okay? But of course, this is basically a rough kind of compositions there, guys. So I can adjust basically those color levels there. Have you guys learned to work with the color levels over here? Not yet, right? Have you guys done these color levels? Okay. So color levels can be applied, okay? Yeah, to learn to develop basically those level of tone, okay, to make it more sharper, sometimes a bit more darker, okay. So you have to be careful with it, right? So try to adjust them accordingly to, okay, we can adjust the levels, output levels, and also the input levels there to make it more proper, okay. If the photos is not quite high res, okay. So if you have this one, good. And the other thing that we can do from here, okay, don't forget to save your files all the time, right? All the time, actually, to save the files there. So what we can do from here, okay, this one, okay, make the same level, auto level kind of skills there, okay, kind of levels there. Yeah, okay. So some of the details later on, you actually can do some selections back again, okay, to cut them up there, right? What else that we can put over here? Okay, this guy. This guy basically, right? Okay, do some selections there, right? Because when you take a look over here, there, okay, you select properly on those areas. Okay, and click Shift and select to these areas there. Right. After that, okay, what you can do is that you actually can copy and paste separately, okay, like this one. Copy and paste separately there, right? Okay, the eyes, see, because you don't want to make some mistakes sometimes, okay. And then you can go for color balance or hue saturations there. Okay? We use color balance there first to change the colors of those eyes there. Okay? Right. Or you can use also hue saturations to change the colors of those eyes. Okay, that's one thing there, guys. Great to work on that. So don't forget to save your file at the same time that works with it. All right, you can change basically, okay, if you have some reference there, okay, for example, let me check basically back again my reference of those illustrations. Yeah, I gathered some information just now from here, there, right? Okay, so this is also a good sample of reference there we have from those Stranger Things. Copy. All right, and paste right here. So all these kind of references that I have. Okay, what else that can we do from here first? Okay, to make it those kind of images, okay, outside, okay, from those shapes there, right? So if you have this kind of information to create your works, it's quite very interesting for you guys to start with there, okay? For example, okay, this one, okay, I don't want to use the whole thing so cloudy there, okay? So what I can do, I can use the elliptical mark tool there, okay? Where basically the background is now right here, there, right? Okay, what you can do from here, you can do some selection there first, select all, copy, only these layers there, right? Only these layers there. Okay, select all, copy there, right? And then what you can do from here, click shift and create those kind of circles there. Okay. And then what you can do from here, you can paste into those shapes there, okay? But first of all, you click into new layers there first, add new layers there, and then go to edit, paste special, place into the right, place into those images back here. Okay, this one there, right? Place into those images back here, see? Those images basically in the circles there, right? This is basically those actual kind of images. This is came from the circles that we create just now there, right? So what you can do from here, okay, when you want to off the selections, Control E, Control D there, okay, of the selections there. Select, deselect those areas there, okay, there, Control D. Okay, what we can do from here, can you see the right? Sorry, there, right? When you select this part, and you see, I can actually move the selections there, move the clouds there, inside those images there. And of course, I can actually adjust the levels there first, right? Adjust the level of this cloud, okay, to make it more darker than okay, to create those kind of solid kind of what we call that images there, okay. And then I can actually reduce the size, okay, to make it a little bit more better on my compositions there. Using basically those, but you don't have to basically to cut over those kind of scale more than the size of those circles. So they become halfway like this one already. So make it basically quite very fit into those circles, and then you click enter to make those kind of selections there, right? Okay, that's one of the way also you guys can use it. This is also some of the tools that you guys can use to develop your kind of compositions and creativities at the same time. Okay. Same goes to this part basically, right? Some of the areas of this part basically, if you want to recreate them back there, right? For example, like the shapes over here. Okay, the shapes over here, right? Okay. What if you want to play with this kind of shapes of it, right? Okay? So what I can do from here, I want to recreate this part become something else there, okay? A universe, for example, there, okay? What I can do, I can select this part there. Okay, like this one. So what I can do from here, okay? This part also there is sort of like, this is basically my ears there, right? Because this part also I can actually do some selections there. Okay, don't forget to click shift there, guys, okay? Click shift. If you want to continue, do some selections there. Okay, same goes to the side there, right? Over here. Okay, roughly there, right, guys, okay, to work on that. Okay, click shift to do more selections. There. Okay. Same goes to this part there, right? Right, it takes quite some time I get to work on that. Even though I'm not actually following it, basically the shape itself, right? This one also has to be selected here, right? So when I have this kind of selections over here, same goes to this part over here, there, right? If I want to follow through there, right? Later on, right? If I want to follow through later on, right? But the best way, if you can select both of them and create new layers there later on. I'm going to create the first shapes over here. Okay. Using lasso tools and pen tablets will give you more advantage to work on that. Click shift, note off the selections there first. Right, okay, I'm going to design those hairline there, okay? There. Okay, do some selections more. This part there, okay? Okay. Why actually I designed those hairline like this one? I want to show basically some of the detailings of this strokes of the hair there. Okay, to give people, okay, the audience see the, okay, basically this is basically the shapes from the head there, okay? So what I can do from here, okay, can create from here, okay? I will start to create those modifications. And let's just say I want to use basically back again those cloud images there, right? Paste into right here. See those images. Sorry. So what I can do from here, I'm going to scale. Oops. Scale that right. According to the shapes of these images there. See? The cloud itself there, right? Don't overdo them, right? And what we can do from here, go to object, what we call that image, and adjust the scale there, see? Adjust the level of tone there, right? So the whole presentations right now, they become something different there. See? Right? So, but this one is not refining yet, right? Okay? I'm not refining the whole thing yet. Okay? But this is something actually we can use as a part of the design elements to go through that. So what else that we can do from here? Sorry, Derek. This part, basically, I want to have some sort of like an inside kind of hole there, if I want to have that. Okay. Add different layers. I'm using different layers there right now. And I'm going to use basically, let's just say, a plain kind of black kind of hole from here there, okay? Using the colors kind of pickers there, right? What I can do from here, I can actually use basically a shortcut key there, okay, to paint them right. Okay, I can use alternate backspace. Basically my keyboard there. To draw some holes over here. Okay, the holes over here, right? This is layer of hole there, right? I'm using alternate Alt key and backspace there, okay, to color those selections. Control D to what we call that, redo the selections. And the brain actually can add back again on this layers over here. But see the layers there, okay? They've been cut off, right? Like this one there, right? So what I can do from here, I can cut this part also from those brain. So what I can do, duplicate, right? Okay? Don't use the same photos there, right? So I can cut over here there first. See? That's how actually we can do that, right? Okay, to cut those brain there. So the brain basically have been cut there, right? To become a hollow man over here. Right, these images that I actually have been drawn there, okay, have been used there, okay, I can use different kind of color combinations that I want to use a gray kind of scale tone. So I'm going to use these hue saturations, all right, to adjust basically those tones into more gray scales there, right? See? From colors into gray tone there, right? There. You see that? Gray tone to make it more harmonized, okay, on those visual at the same time. There, right? What else there? This part. Delete that first. Using those basically magic wand, right? But magic wands sometimes they have a certain kind of what we call that sloppy kind of selections over here. So that's why you have to be careful with it. Okay. In generally basically on those from far basically you guys can see basically it's quite clear directly enough there. Like can you see right here, right? They still have certain kind of area that you have to retouch there, okay? You can retouch using those magic wand or you can use erasers there. Eraser tools, right? And check the brush size, 15%, 15 point there, right? Okay. And hard round to delete this part there, right? To erase this part there carefully. Okay. Normally you cannot see if you use white space. What you can actually can adjust the right, okay, back again to see the details. The background, right? You change the colors into not black, try to change into gray tone, right? Double click to the color pickers and then alternate backspace there. Now you can see some of those sloppy kind of areas that you have been working on just now there, okay? That not been paint correctly there, right? Okay, this one there, right, just now. Okay, the layers over here there, right? So I have to refine them back. Yeah. So this is also a part of those work for basically designers there, right? Okay? Is to clean up basically those areas there, right? Yeah. Some of the areas over here, okay? If you can use those pen tools, or pen tools is more better there, guys, okay? But if you want to have a very quick kind of way of working, for me, sometimes I'm using only a lasso tools there to delete this part there, right? Okay. Always try to work a bit more quick kind of way to approach and to develop those works there, right? We can clean up there, right, from here. So there's a lot of things that we can do to clean up those lines, okay, if you not actually crop them properly. Okay? That's why when you clean up there, okay, you have to clean up properly there, okay, this part basically there, right? Selections there. This is the reality of working as a designer there, guys. Right? Designers there. And of course, illustrators also, right? If you actually work with a lot of collage kind of works, okay, as illustrators, digital collage, right? This is the part of those routine that you have to bear there, okay, when you work with it. You also can use pen tools like this one, just like an illustrators, but it'll be kind of tedious at some time there, right? Take this part, okay, right, select this part there, right, and then delete them. Sorry. Mask shapes. Oops. It's hard directly to work on that, okay? I barely basically use these pen tools that works. So what I can do normally, I'm going to use those polygonal lasso there, okay? Select this part there, right? Okay, more accurate, okay, for the geometric shapes there, okay, for the geometric shapes there. You see this part there, right? Yeah, and delete this part. Right, those are the things that one of the way basically you guys can work with those tools, okay, using lasso and also polygonal lasso there, okay. Yeah, out of it, guys. Okay, what else we can do from here? Okay, some selections, okay, because we want to use those burger basically back again, right? This one at the burger, where is it? This one, the burger there, right? So I don't want to mix them around in one composition like this one, okay? I can put basically the burger inside this shapes there. So how actually going to work on that? So first of all, do some selections of this burger there, right? Copy that first, close, and then what I can do from here, right? The selections, okay? In order to make the selections workable there, okay? First of all, I have to disable the layering mask there. Okay, sorry, okay, not disable there, right? I have to basically construct the layers over here there, okay? So what I can do, I can mix them up there first like this. You select them first there like this one there, right? So I'm not going to add the layers of this burger inside the shapes over here. What I can do, alternate. I'm going to do these selections over here like that. Then I'm going to paste into the burger there, right? You see the burger inside. Scale. All right. The burger can be floating also at the same time there, right? So if I want to mix them up, the burger they're actually floating. Okay. All these ideas basically, right, that I actually try to work on, right, spontaneously I've done using the tools, and based on my planning on my sketches that I just now there, right, I try to what we call that improvise them. Okay? The burger is basically floating there, right? Okay. See, guys, okay, all this kind of crazy stuff that you guys actually can playing around with it there, right? Using the tools that you want to create that based on your team there, right? Based on your teams, okay? I actually love burger very much there, okay? This is what happens to my brain at the same times. Other than I'm used to play this kind of game for this guy there, right? Okay, this one basically I can actually put right. For examples, right? This one we are going to put this guy. Is it right here? Right. So I'm going to put this one there, right? So how actually I'm going to put this guy there, right? Okay. I can actually put this guy inside of this what we call that glasses. Yes, I can already. So what I can do some selections there first like this. Even I not crop it quite very what we call that fine there. So what I can do, I will do some selections back again there guys from here. Okay, create some selections over here there first. Okay. But I don't want to miss this part also there. Okay. This is a part of those reflections there. So you make proper kind of selections. Okay. So let's just say we have the selections over here like this one there, right? What I can do from here, I'm not going to paste back again those guys. What I can do there, right? From the selections of this reference, what I can do there, guys, okay? One of the way, I'm not going to use that kind of Protos kind of images. I'm going to choose those images from this one. Okay, select all, copy, all right, and paste into there, right? See, paste into. Because those images basically quite big there, right? Okay? See? Quite big there, right? So what I can do is scale them up. See, scale them up according to the needs of my reference there. See? Okay. So from here, I can actually reduce the opacities there first. See? Make it more blending there, guys, right? Reduce the opacities there, right? So from here also there, right? I can do some sort of like a glaze kind of reflections there. Using the brush tools, soft brushes, reduce the opacities. We have to use a lot of layers there, guys, okay? And I'm going to, sorry, right, change the colors there, right? Into white colors. Actually design some reflections there, right? Those are the things that I can playing around with it more there, right? There's a lot of things we can actually playing around with it. If from here, if you want to. So what else that we can do there, right? Okay, this is the cloud images shapes there, right? So I think I can change it to different kind of what we call that environment if I want to there, right? Okay. So if I don't want to use this one or I want to make some changes of those colors, I can. So what I can do, if I can use those color balance. Change that first. Well, not do some selections. Okay, make sure you do some selections there first, and then go to color balance. You can change the colors there. See, according to your needs there. Okay. All right. So this is one of the way there, right? Okay, to work with it. Even though this kind of what we call the clouds there, right? You guys can change also the color combination if you want to, right? You can change the color combinations. You can add more clouds if you want to there, right? Okay. From here, I can actually use those soft brushes, right? Pin inside those areas there. They just adjust the flow. Put another clouds over here there, right? Simply kind of clouds there. Okay. Is it enough for today, guys? Or you want more? Hi, guys. Is it enough for you to digest that, right? Those
Yeah,
kind of
should be
situations.
okay.
Huh?
Should be okay.
Can I actually go through more? What time is it there, right? Oh, 3:58 there.
Yeah,
Guys,
almost.
can you see? Yeah, can you guys see? Okay, I'm slowly trying to give you guys some understanding there. Okay, how basically we can actually start to develop those work from scratch there. Okay, from basically from your sketches there. Okay, into more like what we call your kind of improvisation kind of compositions there. Okay, from the sketches. All right, and of course from basically our what we call that another mood board that we have right here directly, a sample of mood board directly that we have right here. And try to mix them around. Okay, don't basically I want you guys to have this kind of information. Okay, don't basically just relying too much on one single idea. Always try to do some modifications, improvements, okay, according to your kind of we call that process of working there. Okay, always have this kind of way of methods of improvising your methods of working there. I can do a lot of things from here, okay, when I actually saw those kind of images there, okay, even though I can actually add more kind of elements if I wanted to make it this kind of what we call that mass become a little bit more cooler there, right? Okay. As long as you can have that kind of understanding to improve more on your kind of works at the same time. Like for example, there I can actually crop this element from here and put it into my mask if I want to there, right? Okay. So I can actually add some of the element from this part there, right? Okay. For example, this part there, right? It's quite very cool kind of shapes over here. I can use this kind of selections like this one. Okay, roughly there first. Okay. Maybe I'm going to select this part also. Right. Or maybe this part maybe is quite interesting also to work with. Copy that. Right. And then paste. See? But I have to rotate there, right? I have to transform into click horizontals there. See? All right. I'm going
Mr.
to put it.
Faisal,
Yes.
Yeah, I have another class on 4 p.m. now.
Yeah. Right. So guys, okay, this is one of it there, guys. Okay, you guys can actually add on a little bit more there, okay? So this is the thing that you guys can actually develop them back, okay, improve more, okay? So today, basically, we're working with the crop tools, transform, paste into there, right, okay? And change some of the colors at the same time there. Right, guys, okay? So I'll leave you guys here right now, right, okay? To take a look back again and reflect back again how actually you're going to improve your works, all right? And hopefully I can actually, what we call that, upload basically back again those kind of videos there. Okay? I try to find those videos back again, right? Okay. So thank you very much, guys, for having me today. Hopefully this session will give you guys more